being conducted in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by advertisement in the Cape May Star and Wave on the Township website and posted on the bulletin boards of Township Hall.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Conrad.
Here.
Councilmember Perry.
Here.
Councilmember Simonson is absent. Deputy Mayor Clark.
Here.
Mayor Beck.
Here. Jim, you got this with the engineer's report?
Yep.
All right. Whatever you're doing.
Steve Morey is here this evening to give us an engineering report from Mott, and feel free to move ahead.
Thank you, guys. Good evening. I'm just going to give a quick summary of the projects we're working on for the township right now and the status. Roseanne Avenue roadway and utility improvements. The plan design is in good shape. We're now looking at it for the environmental permitting. So that'll be going out for its permits applications pretty soon, but the design is pretty much in good shape. The bike path improvements on Seashore Road, the plans are 90% done there. We're working with the county to resolve a small drainage issue with the open ditch down there. We're going to try to close that ditch and connect it all with pipes so that'll be totally out of the way, and we can proceed ahead with that. So we're working out some details with the county still for potential utility conflicts there. So we're working on that, and that permit should also go out. That needs a wetlands permit. That should also go out in the next couple of weeks, and then we'll be working on that to finish that up. Still on schedule for construction in the fall, I hope. Beach maintenance permit and beach access path upgrades. A public comment period for the CAFR permit was up on June 16th. DEP has declared the application complete for final review with no further comments at this point anyway. They're still waiting for some comments from the DEP because we had asked for them to lift some of the timing restrictions for some of the bird species that we don't believe are really using the beach. So we wanted to try to curb some of the timing restrictions that they had always historically put on the maintenance, so these guys can get down there and work all summer if they can. So just waiting for the Fish and Wildlife Service to come up with their comments on that. And the final deadline for decision, we should have a permit by August 13th. That's their statutory deadline to issue a decision. The tennis and basketball court renovations at Freeman Douglas Park, they were given their notice to proceed on July 5th. It's a 60-day calendar contract construction period, so that is supposed to be done the day before Labor Day. So we'll sneak it in time for the tennis season if all goes right. They should be completed that by the school year. A couple of the smaller projects, the standby generator set replacements, we're beginning the design for them. One's at the Public Works, one's over at the Rec Center. We're replacing the generators with from fuel power to natural gas. So that's moving along. And that's it for now. Everything's moving along on schedule.
Thank you.
Any questions for anybody?
Any questions from council?
Okay.
Thank you.
Guys.
We have Mr. Chapman from the MUA.
I just wanted to, excuse me, update the council on the Villas East Water Main project. That's a project where we're going to start up on Miami, work our way back this way. It will result in the installation of new water service to about 500 homes. We have we got really good prices from our contractor, so we're likely to add a few extra streets to that, and we're navigating the approval process with USDA right now. Tomorrow, the crews have been staging, getting things ready. They'll probably start digging some test pits tomorrow. The construction hours for that project is 7 to 5:30, 4 days a week. Because they're working in and around Bayshore Road, they're an experienced contractor in this area. They just don't really want anything to do with, Bayshore Avenue and the Friday traffic. Would expect the project to run till sometime mid-October. And what we're doing a little bit different than was done in some other projects, we're going to work on, the contractor's allowed to work on 2 streets at a time installing water mains. And then once those water mains are installed, they'll be tested for pressure and disinfection. And then they'll go back on those streets and install the water services. In other projects, they installed all the water mains first, and then they went back and did services. So we'll do the water mains, we'll put the water services in, and then once that street has the temporary paving done, then we'll allow residents to start to connect to that. So people will start and be able to connect probably within about 4 to 6 weeks on Miami. We're going to work from Miami this way, Miami south, in a methodical manner. We have a real good contractor, likes to work with people. We'll be making contact with the homeowners through either our staff or the engineer staff to say, hey, where do you want your water meter? You know, where do you want that installed so it's convenient to your plumber? So that project's going along really well. And I brought some information so they can be handed out at Town Hall. Of course, you can pay your connection fee all at once. You can pay it in one initial payment in 4 installments with the MUA. And then there's 2 other programs I have here. One is through New Jersey Housing Mortgage Finance Agency, which is a 10-year 0% interest with a 1% annual service fee. That's part of their potable water program, so they can finance your connection fee, the plumber putting that in, and if you have some other improvements that you have to do, you know, we may be having a little more pressure on our system than some other people were used to, so if they have some piping that need to be replaced, that loan program's up to $10,000 with a 10-year payback. Then there's another program that's through the USDA Rural Development, and it can actually be grant up to $7,500, and there's some income limitations. You have to be 62 years age or older, and there are some asset tests that you have to go through. But for someone that doesn't have any means, basically it's up to $7,500 grant. They also have loans available as well. So I have the 2 information sheets for those. They're both good programs, and you know, to make this as affordable as possible for everybody. We have the forms at the MUA. All this information and the forms are on the website at the MUA. I'll drop some off here. If you need more, let me know. And even though we're not agents for the loans or anything like that, we'll try and help everybody we can. That grant program's a pretty big lift because it's like filling out almost like a full mortgage application like you would, but if somebody needs it, it's a real good idea. That's just moving on, and we're glad that's finally going, and that's what I just came to let you know about. Keep in mind, the contractor is going to let the residents know on the street they're going to work a couple days ahead of time with door hangers. People might be inconvenienced a little bit. They may have to move their car. They may not be able to park on the street, but we're going to try and minimize that as much as possible. There's going to be some inconvenience. We understand that, and that's part of construction. So, does anybody have any questions about
How much time will the residents have to hook up? What's the,
once the project is complete, 100% complete, then those that haven't hooked up will get a letter to say they have 1 year after that.
1 year from
From the-
completion?
From the end of, from the completion of the project, not the completion of their street. Okay?
Okay.
So it'd be 1 year. And so, you know, there's no rush for any of this stuff. And again, this project's going to be spread out through October, so it'll be ongoing.
So like October 2017?
October this year.
2016.
But I mean, a year from.
Oh, yeah,
A
yeah.
year, they'll have till October 2017?
They'll have a year. Everyone will get a registered letter. Anyone that hasn't already hooked up will get a registered letter saying you have a year. And again, we'll spell out some of these options and how they can pay and things like that. There's a very high degree of interest over there, so I think we're going to have a large percentage of the people hook up before, you know, they want to hook up now. So, you know, so it's a good thing.
Thank you.
If anybody has any questions, if anyone needs, knows someone needs some help or something, let us know. and, we'll do what we can.
I also want to tell council, Mike held a meeting here last week and brought in the transportation department from the schools, because this is going to, I won't say affect busing, but to keep them in the loop, as well as rescue was there, the police were there, and did I miss anybody?
Yeah, police, EMS, and, yeah, the school.
School
and-
themselves, just so parents will get something, knowing about pickups, et cetera, if there has to be any deviations on the streets. But the engineer was very confident that it should be business as usual.
And what Perna Finnegan's going to do is the people that attended that meeting will likely get a weekly update by fax to say, here's the streets we're going to work on next week.
Good.
So we're, doing what we can to make that as easy for everyone as possible.
Sounds good.
All right? Any questions?
Mike, can you give an update on what's happening with Wissahick and the sewer project?
Yep, the sewer project, we started out and we had a contractor that said, yeah, we want the job. Oh, by the way, we don't want to do the job till September now. And we said no, and so we ended up with Perna Finnegan. And what we're doing is we're replacing sewer infrastructure that's out in the marsh. We're moving it across the street, so it's a land-based sewer system now. We've already installed a manhole and done a crossing on Route 109, so we're across that. Now we're working down the other shoulder, and we'll be pretty much building a sewer system next to the old system, so that our bypass pumping is minimal. And then when that's all done, that takes all that old transite asbestos that's been problematic and replace that. I would expect they'll be through August, I think, on that, by the time we grout the old one in place and everything like that. But they did a really nice job. We had the police out there. They did the Route 109 crossing in 3 nights. They finished June 30th. They finished up June 30th doing the crossing. And again, they only work Monday through Thursdays. They were working nights. They do 10-hour nights for that crossing, and now they're back on daytime again. So that's moving along pretty good too. And that's the same contractor that did the Lobster House, and they're actually the same ones that's doing Villas East. So they're very good people. They're out of Vineland. Quite a few of their crew live down this way, and I've worked with a lot of contractors, and these guys are top notch. Good quality work, polite, courteous and all like that. So, anybody have any other questions or any questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Move down to the consent agenda, council comments. Which one we're asking to table, 197?
97.
I make a motion that we table Resolution 197.
Second.
I'll second it.
Councilmember Conrad. Oh,
Yes.
Councilmember Perry.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Clark.
Yes.
Mayor Beck.
Yes. Any other comments or questions on the consent agenda? Okay, we'll open it up now to public comment on the consent agenda. Please step forward.
My name is Cosette Gasser. I'm on Bayshore Road. What is, on 201, a mobile office container?
A mobile office container is
Flash container.
what we have to do in the transition for the police department for the renovation. One of the trailers is going to be used for the evidence that is currently stored there. That has to be moved in a certain fashion and kept in a secure container. And that will still be housed in the Sally Port over there, but it could not, with the renovation, we have to move that. And so we need a container for that. And we're also going to need another container to store. There's a lot of furniture, et cetera, that has to be moved around while they do transition one, which the meeting with the engineer is next week, and then we'll really be able to tighten our timetable better. but that's what those containers are
I
for.
was just curious of what that was, so.
Not
Okay,
a problem.
Thank you.
Now you can buy one. Everybody should have one, right? Yep. Any other comments or questions? Close the public portion. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion, we approve.
Second?
Second?
Councilmember Conrad,
Yes.
Councilmember Perry,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Clark,
Yes.
Mayor Beck.
Yes.
Ordinance number 2016-05, an ordinance amending Chapter 529, Secondhand Merchants and Dealers of Precious Metals of the Code of the Township of Lower. This is the second reading and public hearing of this ordinance. This ordinance has been posted, published, and made available to the public.
Council comments, questions? Public comments or questions on this ordinance? Close the public portion. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Councilmember Conrad,
Yes.
Councilmember Perry,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Clark,
Yes.
Mayor Beck.
Yes. Move down to administrative reports. Any, and then council comments. So,
Real quick tonight, I want to give a wonderful job to the Recreation Department, Public Works, Police, Fire, EMS, everybody that was involved with the July 3rd fireworks. They went off very well again this year. Everybody did a great job. Looking forward to the concert series coming up, which I know the mayor will give you all the good details. We got a lot going on in this township. It's a beautiful time to be out on the beach checking things out. As some people showed a video I saw on the night of fireworks, the sky was just beautiful. The different colors there. It's something people need to just go out, take a moment, relax, enjoy where you live. We live in a wonderful place.
Okay, at our last meeting, I was questioned about the crosswalks and the road conditions on Bayshore Road in North Cape May. And I did a follow-up with the county, and Freeholder Will Morey was very instrumental in and also Dale Foster, the county engineer, on getting back to me immediately and apologized for the crosswalks not being done right away, but they were painted at Old Mill and Bayshore, and they were painted at Roseville Parkway and Bayshore, and this is basically a temporary fix for right now. That was done on the 30th, before 4th of July weekend, so I give them praise on getting on that immediately and getting it taken care of. Also, I had other questions with Mr. Morey and Mr. Foster in regards to Bayshore Road. One was the speed limit study from Heidi Avenue down on Bayshore Road into the section where Rose Ann Avenue and Old Mill Drive come in, where the speed limit drops down to 35. There is a study being conducted as we speak. Mr. Morey got back to me and said that this speed limit study should be completed by the end of this summer, and the preliminary design and improvements will be available sometime next summer.
excuse me, you can't do that. Excuse me, officer, Helen,
Having flybys by my house, worker's house full of trash.
Helen,
The
please.
flybys look at the radar. They're
Yeah.
trying to kill me.
Helen,
What does it take to get it stopped?
Helen.
My body's full of heroin and I'm not a heroin addict.
can you step outside,
You want to
please?
see my
Helen?
arms? No.
No,
What
Helen,
are you going to do, arrest me now? I was
absolutely
threatened
not.
by the Lower Township Police
I'm
Department.
not threatening you. I'm
Then
not arresting
don't.
you. We're going to go outside, okay?
thank you, officer. All right, sorry for that. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Dave, go ahead.
As I was stating, that Mr. Morey and Mr. Foster had assured me that the speed limit study should be completed by the end of this summer, and the preliminary design for improvements on Bayshore Road will be done by next summer. And the improvements that we're talking about is the county at this present time is in the process of engaging with a consultant for the study and design improvements on Bayshore Road, the section of Bayshore Road between Sandman Boulevard and Town Bank Road. That whole area is being studied for pedestrian and vehicle traffic. As anybody who drives around there with the entrance to the Bayshore Mall and different areas on Bayshore Road with the traffic and pedestrian traffic, you can see it's a bit of a problem, and they're in the process of conducting that study, and we're hoping that we get some findings on it, and hopefully by next summer, we can look at some improvements getting started or contracts going out for road improvements in that section of town. I remember when a lot of that was done. I've lived in that area all my life, and it seemed like as things started to build up in that section of town, the road was not really designed or being expanded for the traffic that was coming to the area. And I know in the past few years, you've got a nursing home, you've got 2 apartment complexes for seniors there, plus the Town Bank Manor apartments. You have the Bayshore Mall was built in the 90s, so you have a lot of congestion in that area, and it is a safety concern to me that something needs to be addressed. And I want to thank, again, Freeholder Will Morey and Dale Foster for jumping on it immediately and getting this ball rolling. So hopefully, by September, we get a little bit of word back from the county where we're at and how long it's going to take for the improvements to be done.
Thank you. Norris?
No comments.
Okay. Yeah, I do want to talk about the storm.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah. You want me to defer to you or after I'm done?
I'll see what you say.
Yeah. We were, we can't forget, first of all, on behalf of council, I want to tip the hat to Jim and all the workers, the police, Public Works. We got the storm of a lifetime about 2 weeks ago. Anybody that was in town when that hit, certainly it was scary. And we had a lot of damage. The next morning we had, that night, I mean, how we don't have injuries out of these things, I just will never understand. Thank you, Lord, is all I can say about that, because, we've had some, it's starting with the blizzards back to back 8 years ago and the hurricanes we've never even had an injury. And, thankfully so. But the next morning, there's a lot of people that need to be thanked, Marty Palugi and stuff like that. But I just want to take note, and I don't carry water for anybody, but the governor got on the phone with us the next morning and said, he said flat out, Mayor, what do you need? I mean, we were in the office, Gary, and Jim, and within a couple hours, there was balls rolling, there was trucks coming down here. We expressed help, or a need for help with debris removal. And I think that what we're asking is for people to be patient with us. See, when we get storms in the winter, it's pretty easy for us to maybe cancel trash pickup for a few days. It's not a health hazard. But in the summer, we're kind of stuck right now because we have to pick stuff up. I mean, we can't stop trash or recycling pickup. You can only ask our people to do so much, and our town swells to 2 to 3 times the size during a given week in the summer. And unfortunately, we're not eligible really for any grants on this thing, correct, Jim?
Correct.
So our backs are against the wall. We're trying to do the best we can, but I think people have to be patient with this. We've got a lot of things that are involved here. And go ahead, Jim, you can express it. Come back to me when you're done. I still have other things.
On the local level, 3, 4 of our neighbors, specifically Sea Isle City, Avalon, the city of Cape May, and the county, sent trucks and manpower immediately after that storm to help us. And we were impressed with that. It wasn't just one day. Even after the weekend, a couple of the municipalities, again, they had some issues, but they could help us, and we needed it. So a big thank you goes out for that, because obviously there would be substantial savings in getting the trees, debris off the street, but we're still, as the mayor said, not out of the woods. Could be another 4 or 5 weeks. I can tell you in 7 days, we were only able to clear approximately 8 streets totally. That's the number of debris, and at the MUA right now is just full. We have to start moving that stuff out as we move ahead and continue to clean up the aftermath. That's it.
Yeah. And we're asking people to do the best that they can with the stuff in front of their own house. Try not to let it go into the street too far and create a hazard as far as driving conditions. We'll get it when we can. But I mean, the reality is you can only ask the people in Public Works to do so much. It's just going to take time. And I think we're going to have to talk about alternative plans at a later date as far as that to try and get some help on this. But, you know, again, it's a financial situation also that's involved there. Okay. Let's go to the concert series at the DRBA. And there's some new ones. This begins, the concerts begin at 5:30 p.m. July 13th is the Soul Cruisers. We've had them before, right?
Yes.
July 20th is Separate Ways, the Journey Tribute Band. We've had them before. They're good. They're excellent, both of them. July 27th, the Glimmer Twins. I don't remember them. Rolling Stones?
Rolling Stones, new one.
They're a new one, right? Oh, we got a few new ones. August 3rd, we got Philbilly, country cover music, right? That's a new one. August 10th is Jameson's. Now, this is the band. We're not going over there. Irish rock band. We're not going over there. And, well, yeah. I'm sure council doesn't do it anyway. August 17th, Danny V's. We've had them before, the Billy Joel tribute band. This is excellent music. I mean, it's really has grown to be one of the success stories as far as the cooperation that we have between Lower Township and the DRBA. You know, if you went back, like I've said on countless occasions, a half dozen years ago, I never met the chairman of the DRBA. Now this Scott Green, when he came on, it was like everything went completely the opposite. The guy's open for anything to partner with Lower Township, so we're more than pleased with working with the DRBA. Okay, so we'll open it up now to public comment. If you have a question or a comment, feel free to step forward at the microphone. This gentleman here.
My name is John Howarth. I have a slip at Hutch's Marina. I'm a property owner on Gordon Terrace.
Yeah, I saw your email.
And I reside in Atco, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm lucky to be here tonight.
Yeah.
I was within distance from me to this microphone of me, my wife, and my 15-year-old daughter being dead. We were walking across the street on Route 109, and I looked to the left going up the bridge, and there was a break in traffic. I looked to the right, and we started walking. The people coming off of Cape May stopped. I turned. We were in the 2-lane part of traffic. I think there was a misunderstanding. Some people thought we were in the 4-lane. We were down by the crosswalk. As we got about halfway into that lane, that car stopped right here. And all I could see was my daughter flying across. My wife actually fell down. If you drive by there, there is a sign up on the bridge, and there's a sign right by Lucky Bones that's partially obscured. On Sunday morning, I have a dog. I walk under the bridge, go down by the ramp, and then I usually come back across by the Lobster House. Took a couple minutes to get people to stop, and I was standing, because you have a pole right there where the sign is.
Right.
I'm standing, I wave to people, and I'm like, look at the sign. Nobody stopped. Somebody's going to die, and somebody's going to die soon, and you almost had 3 deaths on Friday night. I sent emails, and I talked to a couple people here today. I'm very sorry, I'm bad with names. I also did notice on the last meeting that there's something going on with Bayshore that another resident had brought up. Why does it take a whole entire summer to do a traffic and a speed study? This is a shore community. Things have to move a little bit faster. I understand you have to deal with the state and the county. That spot over there, I watched over the weekend, day and night, there's people crossing that road at all different spots. And there are enough people that do stop, but there's enough that don't stop. And I've actually had this problem years ago. I was walking across the street with my daughter in my hand, and somebody almost hit me that night going both ways. I've almost been killed a couple times. I'd like to know what can be done, who you're going to contact. I've sent emails out. I would like to have the contact information of the people that you're going to contact, being emails and addresses and phone numbers, because I'm going to ring their phones off the wall. I was literally 12 inches from me, my wife, and my daughter not being here tonight. The person that did this didn't stop.
All right.
Somebody behind them followed them in, must have called Cape May police. That somehow or another, Cape May got behind this driver, issued that driver 2 tickets on what he saw alone, and I don't know a whole lot about that. Forgive me for the name. Officer Schenk, I believe, responded out to where we were, and I did come down and sign a complaint. I don't know what that, it has to go through the judge. I do intend to follow that through 100%. I want to tell you that I'm here today because somebody was able to stop 12 inches from me, and I'm not going to stop until something's resolved, and it's now July. I appreciate the Bay Shore temporary, but if there's problems down there too, which I know there are because I come down this way every single weekend, the word temporary and the word fixed at the end of the summer doesn't work when you're a shore community. We got to push these people. The county, you mentioned the freeholder and the county engineer. We can't wait. 109 can't wait. Something's got to be done. Do you have any input on what can be done immediately? And I was thinking of one thing coming in, when you come in, and I don't know that road that comes in by Bud's, where the crabs are there. There is a sign, and I talked to the manager that possibly putting a speed sign that tells you your speed.
Yeah.
What about a
We already
speed
talked
bump?
about that.
How about a speed bump?
No, you can't, they don't, we've been through this speed
Yeah,
bump.
it's a state highway, it's,
Yeah, it's a state highway, but also if somebody, the problem with speed bumps is you get somebody that doesn't see it, it's on a motorcycle or something like that. They just don't put them on state roads. I mean, we can do what we can do, which is, and Jim and I had spoken today about it, and that was basically to alert our department, police department, to strictly enforce the laws there. Also, like you were saying, we have the speed signs, and maybe if there's a place to put one where we could put one there, we can also, pass the information on and reach out to those people that do have the ability to take a hard look at that road. And I think that's where your biggest change would come from. We can't control the way people drive. We could write tickets there forever.
No, you
And
could probably have a
and
full-time
as soon as
officer there all day
and we
almost.
can't put a police officer there forever either. And I mean, it's just that we do the best we can with the resources we have, but it's the conduct of people that is driving these things, and literally, and we'll do the best we can. But I think Jim would partner up with him as far as getting in touch with him and getting the information you're looking for.
And I explained to Mr. Howard this afternoon a couple other things. Number one, in your 2014 master plan, that area came up as an area in need of improvement, and what can be done now is for us as council to petition the state to lower the speed limit to 25 over that bridge. That's a start, just getting something from council to them. The electronic signs also, and as I told Mr. Howard, we have a similar problem with people speeding up along the bay. One thing we did, we put a couple signs up that I think have been somewhat effective, yield to pedestrians, so they know there's people walking there on the road. There was, in 2014, talk of an overpass during that stretch, but I think that cost factor is such that
I remember that.
nothing really materialized, but
Well, like I said, we'll do what we can as far as going further and passing and doing like the 25. What we do sometimes is our police department will take a survey and see what the speed the people coming out there is and do a study of
I may
that.
bring my own radar gun down this next couple weeks.
Yeah, well, and maybe, the traffic sergeant inside the police department could take a look at it and report back to us as soon as he can as to what he sees there and see if there's any short-term and long-term remedies.
Also, the sign by Lucky Bones it blends right in with the pole there.
And that's an issue.
It's not a great
Yeah,
location.
that's what I'm saying, yeah.
Can I get a commitment from the four of you that you will expediently petition the state for this speed limit reduction?
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do is let me, at least for me, I want my police sergeant to look at it and see what he has, and if that's part of his recommendation, we'll go with that. I mean, the state, it's hard to reduce speeds sometimes. You would think it's a no-brainer, but they want some evidence, and we got to get maybe perhaps doing what we said, where they put the electronic device out there that calculates what people are doing through there, and we can get a better reading, and then we'll see what we got.
Now, is that something you would do or the state would have to do?
No, I think we can do that, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So
Will I see that this weekend?
I don't know about that. I mean,
Next weekend?
yeah, let's, we'll talk to the manager on that one. I don't run the show as far as,
On a positive note, I did attend the July 3rd fireworks.
right.
And it was an excellent.
They always do
all
a
in
fantastic
all,
job. Thank
by-
you.
By Lower Township and by the Port Authority or whatever. And everybody seemed to have a good time. And
Yeah.
I want to congratulate everybody that works for the township on a good job.
Thank you, and sorry for your troubles.
Thank you.
And does anybody else wish to address council? I close the public portion.
Resolution number 2016-202. A resolution providing for a meeting not open to the public in accordance with the provisions of the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-12. This is to discuss a personnel issue and supervisor's contract.
Do I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second.
Councilmember Conrad?
Yes.
Councilmember Perry?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Clark?
Yes.
Mayor Beck?
Yes.
Oh, wait. 737.